Walk into most any home in this country and look under the kitchen sink, and you'll find a whole army of plastic bottles, a different costly chemical cleaner for every single surface and job, the counter spray, the glass spray, the floor cleaner, the bathroom cleaner, the this and the that, a shelf full of them, costing a small fortune over the years. And then walk into an Amish home, and you'll find almost none of that. My people clean their homes and clean them beautifully, spotless and fresh, with just a handful of plain, cheap, simple things that cost pennies that most folks already have in their kitchen. And today I'm going to tell you exactly what those things are and how we use them, so you can throw out that whole costly army of chemical bottles and clean your home the old way, better and cheaper and safer. So let me get right into it. Let me give you the plain truth at the heart of this first, because it may surprise you. Those dozens of different costly cleaning products under your sink are, for the most part, entirely unnecessary. The great secret my people have never forgotten is that a mere handful of humble, cheap, natural things will clean near everything in your whole home and clean it wonderfully. You do not need a different special product for every surface and every job. That's a thing that was sold to you, cleverly, product by product, until you believed you needed a whole shelf of them. But it simply isn't true. With just a few plain old standbys, you can clean your kitchen, your bathroom, your floors, your windows, your laundry, your whole home, top to bottom, for a tiny fraction of the cost, and with things so simple and safe, you needn't fear them around your food or your children. So let me tell you what those few humble things are, one by one. The first and greatest is plain white vinegar. And if you take away only one thing today, let it be this. Vinegar is one of the most useful cleaners there is. That mild acid in it cuts through grease and grime, dissolves the hard mineral buildup and lime scale, cleans glass to a beautiful streak-free shine, freshens and deodorizes, and cleans a great many surfaces wonderfully well, all for pennies. Watered down with plain water in a spray bottle, it becomes your all-purpose cleaner for counters, for glass and windows and mirrors, for many surfaces all through the house. It shines up your windows better than the costly blue spray ever did. It cuts the grease in the kitchen. It cleans and freshens. A jug of plain vinegar, which costs almost nothing, replaces a whole row of different sprays under your sink, and does the job as well or better. That's the first great secret of old-fashioned cleaning, plain vinegar, watered down in a spray bottle. The second great one is baking soda, that humble white powder, which is the perfect partner to the vinegar. Where the vinegar is your liquid cleaner, the baking soda is your gentle scrubbing powder. It's a mild abrasive, so it scours and scrubs away stuck-on grime, baked-on food, rings in the tub and sink, without scratching the surface. And it deodorizes powerfully, soaking up and neutralizing bad smells wherever they lurk. You sprinkle it on to scrub out pots and pans, sinks and tubs, stovetops, anywhere that needs a gentle scouring. You use it to deodorize, setting a bit in the icebox, sprinkling it on carpets before sweeping, freshening anything that's gone stale. And here's a bit of the old magic, the baking soda and the vinegar together, the powder sprinkled on and the vinegar poured over, foam up in a way that helps clean and freshen drains and scour tough spots. Between the vinegar and the baking soda, those two humble cheap things, you've already replaced most of that whole shelf of costly products. The third is plain salt, another humble kitchen thing that's a fine old cleaner. Salt is a good scrubbing abrasive, coarser than the baking soda for scouring tough jobs. It's wonderful for scouring out and cleaning cast iron without harming it. Sprinkled on a fresh spill in the oven, it makes it far easier to clean up. It scrubs stains from cutting boards and cookware. Mixed with a bit of vinegar or lemon, it makes a fine scouring paste for tarnished metal and tough grime. Plain salt, that costs next to nothing, is another good old cleaning helper that most folks never think to use. The fourth is lemon, where you have it, for it's nature's own fresh cleaner. The acid in lemon, like the vinegar, cuts grease and grime, and it dissolves buildup, and it leaves everything smelling clean and bright and fresh. A cut lemon scrubs and shines. Lemon and salt together scour and brighten. Lemon freshens and deodorizes wonderfully, and it leaves that clean, bright, natural scent that no chemical can match. The old folks use lemon to clean and freshen and brighten all through the house, and it's a lovely natural cleaner still. And the fifth, the one folks least expect, isn't a thing you buy at all. It's sunshine and fresh air, and it's one of the most powerful cleaners and fresheners there is, and it's completely free. The sun's light naturally freshens, brightens, and helps clean, and fresh air carries away staleness and odor like nothing else. The old folks hung their laundry, their bedding, their rugs out in the sun and fresh air, and it came back fresher and brighter and cleaner smelling than any machine or chemical could make it, with that wonderful sun-fresh smell. They aired out the whole house, throwing open the windows to let the fresh air sweep through. They set things out in the sun to freshen. It costs absolutely nothing, and it's one of the finest fresheners and brighteners nature ever gave us, and we've near forgotten it entirely, sealing ourselves up and reaching for a chemical spray instead. Now, with just those things, the vinegar, the baking soda, the salt, the lemon, and the free sun and air, you can clean very near your entire home. But let me add one more for the deeper cleaning and the laundry, and that's plain soap, good, honest, old-fashioned soap. For washing dishes, for scrubbing, for laundry, for the jobs that need real soap, a good plain soap does the work. And the old folks often made their own from simple ingredients, a real and satisfying old skill. Between good plain soap for the washing and scrubbing, and the vinegar and baking soda and salt and lemon and sunshine for everything else, there is truly almost nothing in a home that can't be cleaned, and cleaned beautifully, with these few humble, cheap, simple things. Let me walk you through the house, room by room, so you can see just how far these few humble things reach, for I think it'll surprise you how completely they do the job. Start in the kitchen, where the cleaning is heaviest. Your vinegar and water spray wipes down all your counters and surfaces, cutting the grease and leaving them clean. The baking soda scours out your sink, your pots and pans, your stovetop, scrubbing off the stuck-on and the baked-on. A paste of baking soda cleans a greasy oven, left to sit and then wiped away. No harsh oven spray needed. Vinegar shines your kitchen window and cleans the glass of your cupboards. Salt scours your cast iron and lifts the fresh spills. Baking soda in the icebox keeps it fresh, and a wipe of vinegar water cleans it out. Lemon freshens and cuts grease and leaves it all smelling bright. Your whole kitchen, the greasiest, hardest working room in the house, cleaned top to bottom with nothing but vinegar, baking soda, salt, and lemon, not one special product needed. Now the bathroom, which folks think needs the harshest chemicals of all, and it simply doesn't. Baking soda scrubs out the tub and the sink and the ring around them, gently scouring away the grime. Vinegar dissolves the hard water buildup and the soap scum and the lime scale on the fixtures and the glass, wiping them clean and bright, and it cleans and freshens wonderfully. For the toilet, baking soda scrubbed in with a good pour of vinegar cleans and freshens it right up. Vinegar shines the mirror to a streak-free gleam. The whole bathroom sparkling clean and fresh with just the vinegar and baking soda. No harsh blue and green chemical bottles at all. The floors, next. For most floors, a splash of vinegar in a bucket of warm water makes a fine floor cleaner that cuts the dirt and leaves no sticky residue and dries clean and fresh for pennies. For wood floors, be a bit gentler and use it well watered down or a plain, mild soap, for you don't want too much acid or water on wood. But that simple vinegar water or a little plain soap in water mops your floors clean as well as any costly floor product, all through the house. The windows and glass, where the old ways truly shine, if you'll pardon me, that vinegar and water spray wiped with a clean cloth or, as the old folks knew, with crumpled newspaper, cleans glass to a beautiful streak-free shine that beats the costly window sprays every time. Windows, mirrors, glass doors, all sparkling with nothing but watered vinegar. It's one of the most satisfying of all the old cleaning tricks. That plain vinegar outshines the fancy blue bottle. And the laundry and the fresh things. Vinegar has its uses in the wash as a natural fabric softener added to the rinse, and to help with odors and to brighten. Baking soda in the wash freshens and boosts the cleaning. And above all, the sun and air, drying the wash on the line, freshening the bedding and the rugs hung out, brightening the whites, filling everything with that clean sun, fresh scent that no bottle can buy. The old laundry, cleaned with good soap, brightened and softened with a bit of vinegar and baking soda, and dried and freshened in the free sun and wind, came out as clean and sweet as any laundry ever has. Let me tell you how it was in the home I grew up in, for the cleaning was a whole rhythm, and a proud one. My mother kept a spotless home, truly spotless, and she did it with a shelf that held nothing but the humble things: a jug of vinegar, a box of baking soda, the salt, the soap she'd often made herself, a lemon when we had one. There was no army of plastic bottles, no harsh chemical smell in our house, ever. Just the clean, plain, honest smell of vinegar drying away to nothing, of soap, of sunshine in the aired-out rooms and the line-dried wash. And the house shone. The windows sparkled, the floors were clean, the kitchen and bath spotless, everything fresh and bright. She'd have laughed at the notion of needing a different costly product for every little job when a splash of vinegar and a sprinkle of baking soda did it all. That was simply how a home was kept, cheaply and simply and beautifully, and it's how I keep mine still, and how I'd have you keep yours. And let me name a few more clever old uses, for these humble things go further than you'd think. Vinegar clears a slow drain, poured in with baking soda to foam and freshen it. Vinegar boiled in a pot cleans off the burnt on. Baking soda deodorizes anything gone stale, sprinkled on carpets before sweeping, set out in a musty spot, worked into a cutting board to take the smell of onion or garlic. Salt puts out a small grease flare in a pan and scours the pan after. A bowl of vinegar set out absorbs bad odors from a room. Half a lemon cleans and shines and freshens a dozen things. There's near no end to the small, clever uses of these few things once you start, and half the fun is discovering them, the way the old folks did, passing the little tricks one to another. Now let me be the honest, careful neighbor and give you some real cautions, because even with these gentle, natural things, there are a few important safety rules you must follow, and I'd never leave them out. The first and most important, and hear this clearly, never, ever mix cleaning products together, and above all, never mix vinegar or any acid with bleach. Now, my people don't use bleach, and I'm not telling you to, but I must warn you plainly because it's a matter of real danger. Mixing vinegar or other acids with bleach creates a poisonous gas that can genuinely harm or even kill you. So never mix them, ever. In fact, as a plain rule, don't go mixing cleaning things together at all beyond the safe old pairings I've named, like baking soda and vinegar. Stick to the simple, known, safe uses and never improvise by combining chemical products, for that's where real danger lies. A few more honest cautions. Vinegar, being an acid, should not be used on certain surfaces. It can harm. Natural stone, like marble and granite, and other stone surfaces especially, which the acid can etch and damage, so keep the vinegar off your stone. And be a bit careful with it on certain other delicate finishes. When in doubt about a surface, test a hidden spot first, or look up whether vinegar is safe for it. If you make your own soap, understand that soap making uses lye, which is dangerously caustic and must be handled with great care and proper knowledge and protection. So learn that skill thoroughly and safely from a good guide before attempting it, and keep the lye well away from children. And even with these gentle cleaners, keep them labeled and sensibly out of reach of little ones, for even vinegar and such shouldn't be drunk. Be sensible, follow these plain rules, and these old cleaners are far safer than the harsh chemicals, but they still deserve respect and care. With those honest cautions given, let me tell you why I so believe in cleaning the old way, beyond just the saving of money. Though the savings are real and large, the first reason is the health of it. Those costly chemical cleaners are full of harsh substances, strong fumes, things you're breathing in and getting on your skin and leaving on the very surfaces where you prepare your food, where your children crawl and play. Many folks are troubled by the fumes and the harshness of them, but vinegar and baking soda and lemon and salt are so gentle and natural you could very near eat them. They're food after all, and cleaning with them means no harsh chemicals, no strong fumes, nothing to fear around your food and your family. There's a real peace in cleaning your home with things so safe and simple, especially where there are little ones about. Your home comes clean without becoming a place full of harsh chemical residues and fumes. The second reason, of course, is the money, and it's no small thing. Think of what folks spend on cleaning products over the years, all those bottles, bought again and again, a real and steady drain on the household money, and near all of it is unnecessary, replaceable by things that cost pennies. Vinegar and baking soda and salt cost a tiny fraction of the special sprays, and a little goes a long way. Over the years, cleaning the old way instead of the store-bought way saves a family a genuinely large sum, money kept in the pocket for no loss at all in how clean the home is, indeed with a gain. That's real money, saved year after year, simply by not buying what you were sold but never needed. And the third reason is the freedom and self-reliance of it, that old theme that runs through everything. When you clean with a few simple things, you can get anywhere cheaply or even make yourself your free of dependence on that whole industry of products, free of the costly bottles, free of the marketing that convinced you that you needed them all. You've taken back one more corner of your household into your own hands and your own simple knowledge. It's a small thing, cleaning, but it's one more piece of that whole self-reliant way of living, one more place where you provide for yourself simply and cheaply rather than buying what you're told to buy. And it's worth understanding how we ever ended up with that whole shelf of costly bottles in the first place, for it tells you something. It wasn't that homes suddenly got harder to clean. It was that over the years, a whole industry learned that it could sell far more by convincing folks they needed a different special product for every single surface and task. One for the glass, one for the counters, one for the floors, one for the tub, one for the toilet, one for the wood, on and on, each in its own bottle with its own promises. And so, product by product, advertisement by advertisement, folks were taught to believe that cleaning required this whole arsenal, and the simple old knowledge that a few humble things did it all was quietly forgotten, pushed aside, made to seem old-fashioned and insufficient. But it was never insufficient. The vinegar and baking soda clean exactly as well as they always did. The only thing that changed was that we were sold a more complicated, more costly way, and lost the simple one. My people simply never fell for it, never brought that arsenal into the house, kept right on with the plain old things that always worked. And that's really the whole story of so much of what we've lost, sold a costly, complicated way, and made to forget the simple, free one that worked all along. Cleaning is just one clear, everyday example of it, one you can take back this very day. So here is what I'd leave you with. Go and look under your own sink at that army of costly bottles, and know that you very likely need almost none of it. Get yourself a jug of plain white vinegar, a box of baking soda, some salt, a lemon or two, some good plain soap, and a spray bottle. Mix your vinegar with water for your all-purpose spray and your windows. Keep your baking soda for scrubbing and deodorizing. Use your salt and lemon for the tougher jobs and the freshening. Throw open your windows and let the sun and fresh air do their old free work. And follow the plain safety rules. Never mixing products, never vinegar near bleach, keeping the acid off your stone. Do that, and you'll clean your whole home beautifully for pennies without a single harsh chemical, the good old way our people never stopped using. Because in the end, that whole shelf of costly, complicated chemical cleaners was never really necessary at all. It was sold to us, product by product, until we forgot the plain old truth that a few humble, cheap, natural things clean a home as well as anything ever has. Take back that old knowledge, and you'll have a cleaner home, a healthier home, more money in your pocket, and one more piece of the simple, self-reliant life our ancestors knew. If this is the kind of practical, money-saving old wisdom you've been hungry for, the kind that makes you capable and self-reliant and connects you back to the good sense of those who came before, then stay here with me. There's so much more where this came from, and I aim to bring it back to you, one piece at a time. Subscribe, and we'll keep remembering the old ways together, because some of the most valuable things we ever knew are the simple ones we let ourselves forget. And the plain old art of keeping a clean home with a few humble things is surely one of them.